Hey everyone, MeltingMan234 here, bringing you my last rant. Today's subject is about people who blindly bash the Archie Sonic series, a segment that has been bugging me for years and drives me to the point of insanity, with all these invalid arguments and crap like that. So let's get this over with so I can finally stop making this kind of crap. And since Sonic was a big video game character, had such publicity, yada yada yada, it just seems like people have treated the Archie Sonic series like crap with stupid reasons. The Fleetway Sonic fanbrats have no idea what they're doing, Sonic Stadium is garbage, IGN doesn't know what the word research is, well, what do you expect from a company full of idiotic gaming noobs, and the Sega Forums has a misleading title, and it should be more like the Anti-Sonic Forums. They bash this series, but they still buy them, because the phrase, if you don't like it, ignore it, is a foreign language to them. It's the whole Sonic 4 drama crap all over again. Especially with the Sonic the Comic and SatAM fan brats. The one who follows Sonic the Comic have never bothered picking up an issue of Archie Sonic and blindly bash it for no reason. While the SatAM fan brats are more like old-timers who can't accept changes in others and just bash it for no reasons. It's like every type of Sonic fan treats the Archie Sonic fans as trash and think they're all outcasts, and that really annoys me. They treat us like outcasts. Well, at least we know a good story when we see one. But next thing you know, they'll go out and start killing anyone who likes the Archie Sonic series. Yeesh. And since I mentioned it, I'm going to compare story differences. People say that, well, the story is dull and boring and blah 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 blah. While the Sega games is always the same thing. No matter what they throw in, whether it be an amusement park in space or traveling back in time, it always boils down to the same basic overuse formula. Beat Robotnik, save the world, and everyone stays alive, the end. There has only been one character to my knowledge that was actually killed off, and it's not Shadow. And besides, they always focus on Robotnik the entire time. Rarely they'll introduce a new villain, but they're either killed off immediately like Mephiles the Dark, or defeated and abandoned like Metal Sonic 3.0. With the comics, it has more grit. It takes chances of killing off characters for certain reasons. They have Robotnik, but also give other villains a good amount of screen time instead of making one lousy appearance and then abandoned the next day. And besides, the stories are more interesting as they don't repeat the same formula over and over again in every issue like the games do. They also complain about the comics that they should be more like the games, and let's think about this. If the comics were like the games, then we would expect them to be exactly like the games, therefore killing off any originality possible. On top of the story situations, there's also another thing that Sega Sonic never explains. Backstories of certain characters and things, like the Chaos Emeralds. They're just there. They pop out of nowhere and never explain where they came from. While in the comics, it's given more of a backstory, such as a history of how the 7 Chaos Emeralds were made. And as for the characters, Sega never gives them a backstory, only a few of them like Shadow and such. So one would be thinking, hey, Cream has a mother, I'm sure Sonic and the others have relatives too. And where are they exactly?
Nobody knows!
At least with the comics, it explains how the characters were made, their history, and how they came to be what they are today. Another thing that annoys me is that they say that characters in the Archie Sonic series are out of character, like seeing Sonic cry. Seriously? You think that every Sonic character that they created are forced to have only one emotion and never experience happiness, sadness, anger, or any type of emotion out of their range? Now that is pure failure if I ever saw one. Besides, the comics do a better job with making the characters have their emotions, like with Amy Rose. In the games, Amy is nothing more than a psychopathic, over-obsessed fangirl who wants to have sex with Sonic. While in the comics, she's more mature, more confident, and more useful than she ever was, instead of being a helpless brat like she was in the games. And then there's Knuckles. While in the games, he's nothing more than a complete idiot who has no idea what he's doing. In the comics, they give him more of an interesting backstory, make him less naive, and it explains why he wears those type of gloves all the time. And then there's the people who bash the characters in the Archie Sonic series like Sally Acorn. And I've heard it all. The clothes, the relationship, the title. People complain that Sally is a slut and all that even though she acts nothing like a slut. Sally is pretty much another one of those characters who is misjudged by appearance. It's like how everybody misjudges Vincent Price, because since he was in a lot of horror films, they think in real life he's a scary old man. But the truth is that in real life, Vincent Price was a pretty nice guy. As for Sally's design, there's no law that says anyone who draws an anthropomorphic character must include every single bodily function of the human body and display it. Besides, she ain't showing anything. Although I've heard people say that their private parts are hidden inside their fur, well, for the female Sonic characters, I can kind of see that, but with the male Sonic characters, I'm not seeing it. As for the relationship thing, this subject has been bashed to death, and is the main reason why Sonanime fans have become psychopathic killers. Now, I'm not saying they're all like that. I have met mature ones that don't spaz out all over the place about this certain subject, like Feed the Machine 100, and other mature audiences. Besides, seeing Sally with Sonic is more of a perfect match because who do you want to see Sonic go out with? A nice woman who can defend herself and cares about Sonic and his comrades? Or constantly being chased by a crazy fangirl who wants to hump him to death? As for her title as princess, she has a reason for it since her brother Elise, or whatever, is king. At least he was until Nagas came by and took the crown. And since someone's ruling, she still has the title of princess. It's not like Princess Peach where she's the only ruler of her kingdom, yet she's always called princess even though no one's ruling in her stead and she's the only one. So a quick message to those Sally haters. Don't judge a character by their appearance. Just shut up and do your damn research before you start spewing invalid arguments. And then we have people who don't do any research whatsoever and say that the Archie Sonic characters are a bunch of Mary Sues. Now I gotta ask, who's the dumbbell that started this crap in the first place? A Mary Sue was someone who is invincible and powerful, and it's 100% for sure that they are all wrong claiming Archie Sonic characters are Mary Sues. Take a look at Tobor. He's the exact opposite of a Mary Sue, as he failed to protect Echidnaopolis and had his eyeballs ripped from his sockets. But then he came back and tackled with one of the Dark Legionnaires members, and both of them died in an explosion. If he was a Mary Sue, he would have survived the blast. But no, he didn't. He died and took Kragok with him and ended up in the afterlife. They also treat the anti-characters as recolors, and they are too blind to tell the difference. In fact, have the words anti and alternate version become a foreign language nowadays and accusing any anti-characters of recolor? Because I'm getting real sick and tired of this crap. It's like they've lost their knowledge of creativity nowadays. I've also heard people say that there's too many Sonic characters in the Archie Sonic series. Well, comparing with Archie and Sega, it's pretty obvious Archie treats the characters with respect, while with Sega, they just make them, have them make one lousy appearance in one game, and then abandon the next day. But hey, that's Sega for you, always creating tons of characters and abandoning like 70% of them, and they don't care what happens to them. Then there are times when the fan brats point out ridiculous things that are old news, like when they accidentally colored Shadow's chest hair yellow instead of white. Yeesh, it's just a mistake. It's not like the first time they did something like this, and it's nothing more than just pointless nitpicking. And by the way, that whole anti-Archie club is nothing more than a pile of garbage. And people are so nitpicky when it comes to things being canon to the main story, such as comparing Sega and Archie Sonic. And I find that real pointless because basically there's not one Sonic universe. There are many possibilities of all these different alternate universes. Just like with Mario, he's had a lot of different alternate universes like the Paper Mario series and the Mario RPG games for the handhelds. But basically, with the alternate universes, they have their own boundaries and rules like Sega Sonic, Archie Sonic, Sonic Underground, Sonic the Comic, and that other one. But yeah, basically, there is no complete category or encyclopedia of one big Sonic story. As Panic Pagata once said, people shouldn't get so worked up about it. It's not a freaking Sonic Bible. It's an all-ages comic that is meant to be enjoyed by Sonic fans. And I agree on that. The Archie Sonic series is supposed to be enjoyed by ones who are true fans and follow Sonic through thick and thin. Not Sonic fans who ramble about pointless arguments and say that they are a fan of Sonic, even though in real life they have a flaming hatred to him. So, to end this, do actual research and stop making these pointless arguments and bashings on stuff that makes no sense. Because when comparing these two together, it comes down to two simple scenarios. Sega Sonic focuses on gameplay, Archie Sonic focuses on storyline, and for me, I'm more into the storyline. Well, this was a lot longer than I thought. At least I got it off my chest now. And with that said, I can finally retire and stop making rants and commentaries, and just do forgotten media, beta collection, Archie Sonic reviews, more singing videos, and other videos. And maybe get Action Mario and Luigi Plush back up and running, even though it seems like no one's interested in seeing the series come back after being put on hiatus for 2 years. Well, that's about it for me. So this is MeltingMan234 signing out.